Winston Churchill had been drinking heavily at a party when he bumped into Bessie Braddock, a socialist member of Parliament. "Mr. Churchill, you are drunk," Braddock said harshly. Churchill paused and said, "And Bessie, you are ugly. You are very ugly. I'll be sober in the morning." I'll be sober in the morning. Great political comebacks, put-downs, and ripostes. The greatest collection of political zingers ever assembled. These are some of the meanest and funniest words ever spoken by some of the meanest and funniest politicians who ever lived. Henry Clay was sitting outside a Washington hotel with Massachusetts Senator Daniel Webster when a man walked by with a pack of mules. "Clay, there goes a number of your Kentucky constituents," Webster said. "Yes," Clay replied. "They must be on their way to Massachusetts to teach school." Sober in the morning. Politicians the way they used to be before consultants and spin doctors blow-dried and pasteurized them. The three living former presidents, Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford, and Richard Nixon, stood side by side at a White House reception during the Reagan administration. Observing the three standing together, Senator Bob Dole said, "There they are. See no evil, hear no evil, and evil." I'll Be Sober in the Morning, edited by Chris Lamb with cartoons by award-winning illustrator Steve Steglin and published by Frontline Press. During the Democratic primaries in 1960, Senator Lyndon Johnson and his family believed that LBJ would ultimately be the party's nominee for president. But at the convention in Los Angeles, the nomination went to John F. Kennedy. Johnson would, instead, be JFK's running mate. Johnson's mood darkened when one of his daughters was late returning from Disneyland. As the Johnsons hurried for the convention, LBJ groused, "We didn't come out here to see Disneyland." "I know," his daughter said dejectedly, "but we didn't come out here to see you run for vice president either." I'll Be Sober in the Morning, featured on NPR, on MSNBC, and on dozens of radio shows across the country. Writer Dorothy Parker and U.S. Representative Claire Booth Luce bumped into each other entering a restaurant. "Age before beauty," Luce sniffed, stepping aside. "And pearls before swine," answered Parker as she walked by. I'll Be Sober in the Morning. Entertain your friends, sharpen your wit, don't lie awake at night thinking of your next comeback. During one of the Lincoln-Douglas debates, Stephen Douglas told their conservative audience that he had once seen Lincoln selling liquor. When it was his turn to speak, Lincoln did not dispute the charge. He agreed that he had once worked as a bartender. "I was on one side of the bar serving drinks," he said, "and Douglas was on the other side drinking them." I'll Be Sober in the Morning. Remember when politics used to be fun? Remember when politicians had personality and wit? The conservative Winston Churchill was often at odds with Clement Attlee, leader of the Labor Party, which advocated a greater role for government in economic policy. Churchill once entered a men's room to find Attlee standing at the urinal. Churchill took a position at the other end of the trough. "Feeling standoffish today, are we, Winston?" Attlee asked. "That's right," Churchill responded. "Every time you see something big, you want to nationalize it." I'll Be Sober in the Morning. Great political comebacks, put-downs, and ripostes. Edited by Chris Lamb, published by Frontline Press. I'll Be Sober in the Morning is available at all bookstores, at Amazon.com, or directly from Frontline Press at FrontlineLTD.com. Don't let another election pass without your copy of I'll Be Sober in the Morning. Get it today.
Whenever you're ready.